Hi you guys. So this video is going to be very sensitive. It's going to be about a sensitive subject, and I really hope that you take with it an open mind to understand that this is about biology. This is not about personal opinion. This is not about how I view things. This is not about how you view things. This is about research that has been done, compiled, put together. I'm doing this for educational purposes. I really hope that you come into this with an open mind, because, it's a touchy subject. So one of the lessons that we had in our class was about how do you educate people on homosexuality and heterosexual behaviors. What is the smallest basis of why people are the way they are? There is a debate out there that says I was born this way. They don't know where to turn. Parents are wondering, like, did I do that to my child? Is it because of me? Is it something that they were lacking growing up? Biologically, looking at things on a scientific level, you have to think about there's other options. Is it nature versus nurture? Is it something biologically that creates the homosexual behaviors? So I'm going to read what I wrote, and I'm going to read it word for word. That way it's not something that I'm winging. I'm trying to figure out. I wrote it. I did the research on it. It's posted. If there's any information that you want me to elaborate on or discuss or research that you would like more information on, just let me know. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading it. Hopefully this won't take long. So the biology of sexual orientation. In placing the gender assignment to female and male, female XX, male XY, it is dependent on chromosome coding. The testes of the male secretes testosterone and dihydrotestosterone, androgens, that help males develop. The two hormones help develop masculinization and defeminization. There is an article that explained that the default form of the body is to be female. So when we're first created, we're female. But hormones from the testes create the male form. After the fetus is developed, these hormones' activational effects assign the gender. Some with Turner syndrome, XO, have female internal sex organs, but external genitalia. So they have both. And it's been in the news before. There are people who have both male and female body parts. The effects of hormones can be seen in the structure of the body, organs, secondary sex characteristics, and can influence behavior by interactions with the nervous system. The hormonal effects of the nervous system can stimulate physiological processes and behavioral manifestations. It is a matter of choice or a biological effect in regard to sexual orientation. So some researchers base orientation off past childhood experiences and environment within the family home. There was no evidence that parental involvement predicted outcome of homosexuality. These researchers concluded that it was not a social consequence, but more of a biological response. So it wasn't something that was done in the home. It was more biological. So it is known that if a difference in lifestyle can change the level of testosterone, it is not known that the level of the testosterone can be based off of social consequence. It is questioned if the brain structure is morphed by androgen levels during the prenatal exposure. The summation thought is that homosexual males are not masculine or feminine. Females are masculine and defeminized, and bisexuals are masculine and feminine. So in another article, it is referenced that there is a gap of knowledge with a person having traumatic brain injury, TBI, and how it relates to sexual orientation. So basically, if you get in a car accident and you hit your head really hard, or something really happens, you have traumatic brain injury, how does that affect sexual orientation? They don't really know. But they did explain that having the sexual orientation assignment and being disabled can cause undue discrimination during assessments, examinations, treatments, and education. Information during the research process can be underreported due to fears of discrimination. TBI causes common sexual dysfunctions that affect a person's network around them, thus lending them to the idea that there are physiological shifts after trauma. This proves the scales lean more towards biological basis of behavior versus choice. So going back over that last part, if you have a TBI, or if you have a medical condition that puts you in a hospital, when you fill out the forms, and I think they're doing a little bit better nowadays, they ask you male, female, other, or would you care to be preferred by? What do you want us to call you? If your name is Tom, but you're transgender, things change. Or if you are transitioning, things change. So this leads to discrimination. You have the TBI, you have your sexual orientation issues, and you might have other concerns. And so that's why it says during assessments, examinations, treatments, and education, there is such a shift of the knowledge that is being put out there on, sexual orientation. And even me doing this video, hopefully it helps people understand a little bit more about the biology of sexual orientation. As it says before, and a big point that I make, I've been spreading the news that I didn't know that we start off as female. So it's the secretions and the amino acids from the male testes, the hormones, it changes us from female to male, or female with a higher level of just testosterone levels. Things change during the creation of our biology, and it's just amazing and it's fascinating. Like I said in the beginning, I didn't do this to ruffle any feathers, but it just really makes you think a little bit more about how there's a shift in the science of our bodies. And even over time, as we become more and more imperfect as people, you see more and more things that you haven't seen before. So, like I said, if you would like to discuss it or you have more questions, just let me know. And knowledge is power. So know about yourself, know about people around you before you judge. And I hope you have a nice day.